All right, let's jump right in, shall we? Today we are tackling something huge, poetry. More specifically, we're going to bust some of those big, common myths that might be getting in the way of you actually enjoying, or hey, even writing modern poetry.
You know that feeling, right, where you're just staring at a poem and you're thinking, am I missing something here? It kind of feels like everyone else in the room got the secret password and you're just stuck outside.
Well, let me tell you, you are so not alone. That feeling of being confused, it's incredibly common. And the reason why? Well, it might actually surprise you. It often has less to do with the poem itself and a whole lot more to do with how we were all taught to think about poetry in the first place.
Yeah, and that leads us straight to our first big point. Let's call it the classroom effect. Because for a lot of us, this whole poetry is confusing thing, it started way back in school. I mean, just think back to English class. Who did we read? Shakespeare, right? Dickinson, Frost, all amazing poets, no doubt about it. But when that's all you read, you start to see poetry as this thing under glass in a museum. It feels old, dusty, and totally disconnected from today, not like something that's alive and kicking right now.
So starting with that kind of old school view, it's no wonder it leads us right into the biggest myth of them all. This is the one that trips up pretty much everyone, whether you're reading poetry or trying to write it, and that is the idea that poems have to rhyme.
And here it is, side by side. The myth we all learned is that poetry is supposed to sound like a little song, all perfect and rhyming. But the reality? The reality for poets writing today is totally different. They're not chasing rhymes. They are chasing powerful, crystal clear images, things that stick in your mind and make you feel something.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Image and meaning. That's what matters. If you have to bend a sentence into a weird shape just to force a rhyme, you're probably losing the whole point. We're not writing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star here. We're going for real, honest-to-goodness impact.
All right, let's tackle the next big one. This myth is kind of a cousin to the first one. I call it the meaning maze. You know, the idea that every single poem is some kind of secret code you have to crack.
And here's the thing. There are actually two sides to this bad coin. One is the idea that there's one secret meaning, and if you don't get it, you've failed. The other is that, well, that lazy idea that a poem can just mean whatever you want it to mean. Both are wrong. The truth is, good poetry, the stuff being written now, is meant to be understood. It wants to connect with you. It uses specific images to make you feel a specific way. It's not trying to hide from you.
Okay, this analogy is just fantastic. It completely demolishes that whole "it can mean anything" argument, right? Yeah, you could make anything out of a chemistry textbook, but that doesn't make it poetry. Art is intentional. It's a crafted experience the artist is trying to share with you.
And hey, if you want a perfect example of this in action, you have to check out Billy Collins. His work is brilliant because it's so clear and relatable. The images are sharp, sometimes they're funny, and they always invite you in. He's not trying to trick you, he's trying to talk to you.
Okay, myth number 3. This is a big one. It's this idea that for something to sound poetic, it has to sound, well, old.
I mean, look at this. It doesn't get much clearer. On one side, you've got this fancy old-timey language we think we're supposed to use, but on the other, it's just how we talk. You, have. Contemporary poetry uses contemporary language. It's really that simple.
And this is so important. Why? Because what is poetry doing? It's capturing a snapshot of the world right now. It's a record of our culture. And you can't do that if you're speaking a language nobody uses anymore. All that does is build a wall between the poem and the reader.
Okay, so we've busted the big myths. Now let's talk about some of the bad habits that grow out of those myths. We're going to do this rapid-fire style, so hang on.
First up, chopped prose. This is when you just hit the enter key in the middle of a sentence and call it a poem. Nope. Line breaks have to have a reason. Next, the telegram. This is that weird habit of cutting out little words like a or the to sound poetic. I guess? Just write normal sentences, people. And finally, centering your poem on the page. Look, it just makes it look like a greeting card. It's not really a thing in serious contemporary poetry.
And this quote from the writer Janet Burroway just puts a perfect bow on it. Poetry is not chopped prose. It's not an accident. It's not just messing with formatting. It is a real craft.
So, we've torn down all the old ideas. The big question is, what do we build in their place? What is modern poetry, really? Let's get into it.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Modern poetry is, first and foremost, a snapshot of our culture, right now. It's clear, it's direct, it actually wants you to understand it. It's all about using powerful images to make you feel something real. And man, is it efficient. Every single word, every line break, even the empty space on the page, it all has a job to do. It's incredibly strategic.
And that efficiency thing, it's huge. Think about it. A poem is almost never more than a single page. It's like a tiny suitcase that holds an entire world of meaning and feeling. That's not a weakness, that's its superpower. It's an amazing display of skill.
And listen, this is why everyone should care about this, even if you think you'll never write a poem in your life. Studying poetry makes you a better writer. Full stop. In any genre, it's like weightlifting for your writing. It forces you to think about every single choice. It teaches you how to pack a punch with your words.
So I want to leave you with this. What if we just stop trying to solve poems like they're math problems? What if, instead, we just let ourselves experience them? What if the point isn't to decode it, but just to feel it?